ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਮੰਗਿਰ ਮਾਹੇ ਸੋਹੰਦੀਆ, ਹਰ ਪਿਰ ਸੰਗ ਬੈਠੜੀਆ। ਤਿਨ ਕੀ ਸੋਭਾ ਕਿਆ ਗਣੀ, ਜੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੇਲੜੀਆ। ਤਨ ਮਨ ਮੌਲਿਆ ਰਾਮ ਸਿਉ, ਸੰਗ ਸਾਧ ਸਹੇਲੜੀਆ। ਸਾਧ ਜਨਾ ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰੀ, ਸੇ ਰਹਿਨ ਇਕੇਲੜੀਆ। ਤਿਨ ਦੁਖ ਨ ਕਬਹੂ ਉਤਰੈ, ਸੇ ਜਮ ਕੈ ਵਸ ਪੜੀਆ। ਜਿਨੀ ਰਾਵਿਆ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਪਣਾ, ਸੇ ਦਿਸਨ ਨਿਤ ਖੜੀਆ। ਰਤਨ ਜਵੇ ਹਰ ਲਾਲ ਹਰ, ਕੰਠ ਤਿੰਨਾ ਜੜੀਆ। ਨਾਨਕ ਬਾਂਛੈ ਧੂੜ ਤਿਨ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸਰਣੀ ਦਰ ਪੜੀਆ। ਮੰਗਿਰ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਰਾਧਨਾ, ਬਹੁੜ ਨ ਜਨਮੜੀਆ। ਮੰਗਰ ਮਾਹੇ ਸੁਹੰਦੀਆ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੋ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਜਿਹੜੀ 12 ਮਾਹ ਦੀ ਲੜੀ ਆ, the series of 12 ਮਾਹ that we've been doing Katha to learn the teachings of Tan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji in Rag Maj. This Pavitr Bani is Ankit on the 133rd Ang of Tan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. We also know that there is a Rag Tukhari de vich vi ek 12 ਮਾਹ ਆਉਂਦਾ, Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji da ucharan ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji recited that one. And this 12 maha is meant to also give an opening or a tika roop de vich bani samjhi gayi hai, jo Baba Buddha Ji te jire aad Gurmukh Gursikh us waqt te samkali si Guru Arjan Dev Ji de, that were living during the time of Tan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Unhone ne benti ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ that Sache Pasha, everybody wants to hear the month's Katha when the month starts. That Sache Pasha tusi aap kirpa karo. But Guru Arjan Dev Ji had said that Guru Nanak Dev Ji di ਇਹ ਬਾਣੀ already ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਪੰਥ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਟੀਕਾ ਰੂਪ ਬਾਣੀ ਉਚਾਰਨ ਕਰੋ. So then this 12 maha in Rag Maj came about, where Guru Arjan Dev Ji jithe hun Gurdwara Manji Asthana at Amritsar uthe ucharan kita. And this month, what you'll find is throughout 12 maha, you'll find that the month that we call it by, sometimes the sound of that month is altered by Guru Sahib when you hear it in Gurbani. And ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓਗੇ ਮੱਘਰ ਦਾ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਚੜ੍ਹਨ ਲੱਗਿਆ, ਮੱਘਰ ਦਾ ਮਹੀਨਾ. And here you have a shabd written as Mangkir, Mangkir. So ਘੱਗੇ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਹਾਰੀ ਹੈ. So kir shabd, just so you guys can understand, because sometimes if you understand the word and where it derives from, then you can start figuring out what Maharaj is hinting towards. Because this translation will come in the second part, because one translation, there's always other layers of translations hidden underneath it. And sometimes by opening up just one word, and you open it up and look at the different meanings, you'll be introduced to a new meaning that Guru Maharaj Ji is giving to the Panth, that sometimes is more relevant to certain people. So some people like reading Gurbani with the meaning that it applies to them, it speaks to them. And Bani ta athas mundara, that you can get meanings upon meanings as your spiritual state rises higher and higher. You'll be introduced to different meanings in Gurbani. Bhai Sahib Bhai Veer Singh has written a tika, not a complete tika, because the attempt that he made was to dive into Guru Granth Sahib Ji and see what other meanings come about. But they're so vast and they're so deep that even if an person or a normal reader goes about trying to read it, they can't really figure it out. But the lengths and the depth of the arths that came about in that tika are amazing. That ਜਿਉਂ-ਜਿਉਂ ਅਵਸਥਾ ਉੱਪਰ ਚਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਿਉਂ-ਤਿਉਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਅਰਥ ਹੋਰ ਖੁੱਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. You can see different meanings come about. So ਰਹੋ ਵਿਚਾਰ. ਆਪਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਮਨ ਬਿਰਤੀ ਇਕਾਗਰ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਉਚਾਰਨ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਅਰਥ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਸਾਰੇ ਆਖੋ ਜੀ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ.
ਮੰਗਰ ਮਾਹੇ ਸੁਹੰਦੀਆ.
So Maghar, in the month of Maghar, that Guru Maharaj Ji explains that those Jeev Roop Sakhi, those you can say in a way soul brides that sit in the company of their husband Lord, that ਉਹ ਸੋਹਣੀਆਂ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ. ਇੱਕ ਸਾਖੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਜਿਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ went to Sangladeep. Guru Maharaj Ji arrived in a garden that was built for him but that had dried up. As Maharaj Ji placed his pavitra holy charan in that garden, fir harya parya ho gaya. And then Raja Shivnab, jo intezar kar rahe si, that was awaiting Guru Maharaj Ji's arrival. However, he had been scarred by impostors coming and using the name of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So he chose to test Guru Maharaj Ji to find out if he is the real Guru Nanak Dev Ji. As he tested, the final test came that all of the other previous impostors had failed, was that he would call upon a group of women called the Padmaniya. And these women were very beautiful and wore such clothes that would attract the opposite gender. So they went at night when nobody else was around in the garden, and they came and started massaging Guru Maharaj Ji's legs as Maharaj Ji was lying down on the ground. As Maharaj Ji got up and he saw the women apna hav bhav karan lag gayan, they started gesturing to Maharaj Ji, trying to attract Guru Maharaj Ji. Maharaj Ji ne fir unna nu jo upadesh ditta, the bani that Guru Maharaj Ji started singing, that all the jira vakar si ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, all the things that were sitting in their minds of what they were attempting to do, they became all settled. And they were now sitting in Sangat with Guru Maharaj Ji. And I take it that ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਵਕਾਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਆਉਣੇ ਆ. And as we sit with Guru Maharaj Ji hearing Gurbani, all our minds are cleansed as we pay close attention to Gurbani. And Padmaniya ਉਸ ਵਕਤ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਆਉਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਰਮ ਧਰਮ ਦੋਏ ਛਪ ਖਲੋਏ, ਕੂੜ ਫਿਰੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਵੇ ਲਾਲੋ. Guru Maharaj Ji had recited this in Ahmedabad, that saram, all modesty, and dharam, which is righteousness, has now left this place. But when Guru Maharaj Ji places his Pavitra Charan on that spot and recites the Pavitra Shabd, the word of God, the word of the Creator, then what happens? Saram Taram comes back to that place. And it came to those women. Those women became Gursikhs that day, and they realized that Raja Shivnab, this is the real Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They would go and report. They would listen to the sermon that Guru Maharaj Ji would give under the waxing moon of the night sky. And Guru Maharaj Ji gave this holy sermon. Oh vi Shabd Dhan Sri Guru Granth Sahib de vich haiga, par oh vichar isi tarah, those people that see that as their Atma, as calling out to their Lord husband Paramatma, they oh aake pere sang baithadiyan ha. They come and sit with their Guru Sahib, around their Guru Sahib, their Lord husband, and oh sone lagde hai, sohandiyan. They look beautiful for doing that. They don't look beautiful just by the kapde they wear. They look beautiful for the act of sitting still within Sangat. And here opens up the second arth. Je Maghar Meene de Dware. Guru Maharaj Ji is telling us that Mamme de upar tippiya, Mang. Oda arth hai ban gaya mera. And Kir is a Pratan Shabd for Kar. Kir hunda si ਦਾ ਘੇਰਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਵਿਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਘੇਰਾ ਪਾਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ is your house and ਉਥੋਂ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਘਰ ਸੋ ਮੇਰਾ ਘਰ ਜੇ ਇਹ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਨਾ ਮਗਰ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਘਰ ਮਾਹੇ ਸੁਹੰਦੀਆਂ that within my home my thoughts when they come to learn to sit because we all are sitting here but not our thoughts aren't always sitting our thoughts are running all around and there are 5 different types of thoughts that have been mentioned by Vidvans that have been called Praman, Viparjay, Vikalp, Nindra, te Simriti. And I won't go into too much detail, but it involves first Praman, which means that with the eyes, that getting distracted by, I should say with the senses, that if something floats by before your eyes, you're distracted from what the sermon is right now, with the discourse that's taking place. Or a sound comes, you're immediately pulled towards that sound. These are all distractions. And these all, Viparjay, are the distorted type of thinking that comes. The next is Vikalp, is that desiring things with thodi kamai, but having a lot of desires. Onu Vikalp keh dende hai, fir Nindra. Then while you're listening, sar diggan lag janda. That you start becoming drowsy. That also serves as a distraction at that time. And Simriti. Simriti oh cheez hogi that your mind starts remembering other things that you did at that time when you should be paying attention. And Evi, Jo Tode, Sankalapa, Vikalapa, all these thoughts that you're having, Har Pir Sang Baithadiya, your Pir Paramatma, which is Gur Shabd. What happens is these thoughts and all these distractions sit down in your mind where you can pay attention and your mind becomes sathir. It becomes silent. Marji has shabds like this. मैं उन गाऊंगा जिन्हें नु पता तुसी नाल जरूर गा लियो. थिर कर बैसो हर जन प्यारे सतगुर तुमरे काज सवारे जपो जी थिर कर बैसो हर जन प्यारे सतगुर तुमरे काज सवारे दुष्ट दूत परमेश्वर मारे जन की पैज रखी कर तारे दुष्ट दूत परमेश्वर मारे जन की पैज रखी कर तारे बादशाह साह सब बस कर दीने अमृत नाम महारस पीने बादशाह साह सब बस कर दीने अमृत नाम महारस पीने निर्भो होए भजो भगवान साध संगत मिल कीनो दान निर्भो होए भजो भगवान साध संगत मिल कीनो दान शरण परे प्रभ अंतर जामी नानक ओट पकरी प्रभ स्वामी शरण परे प्रभ अंतर जामी नानक ओट पकरी प्रभ स्वामी so sthir रहना sthir even ਜਦੋਂ Krishna saw Arjun on the rath and ਉਹ ਡੋਲੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ he said sathir parat sathir stay stable stay still because this fight of righteousness is about to commence and you have to fight And that's what it is. We have to fight our thoughts. We have to. We can't become passive. Passive means, no, it's too hard. Jinne chir prana. As long as we have breath, we have to continue this fight. And the only way we can do it is with the hathyar, with the weapons that God gives us, which is Gur Shabd. Guru Maharaj's Shabd is the greatest Davi weapons that we can have, the divine weapons that God has graced us. All of these Shabds, such as the one that we recited. For those people finding it that their mind is troubled, just sit down and start singing this Shabd. Even in Sri Sarbalo Maharaj, Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, Thir kar rakho man baure ko, ek pal chalan na dije. He says, even for a moment, don't let your mind waver for a moment. And recite and remember and concentrate on Guru Maharaj's Shabd. So, mere ghar de vich odo sobneek hoga sohandiyan. It will look good inside of my home. Jadon pere sang baithadiyan. When I take Guru Maharaj's Shabd and all of my thoughts are surrounding and sitting, listening to Guru Maharaj's Shabd in my mind. Not just with the body, but also with the mind. Anji.
तिन की शोभा क्या गणी जे साहिब मेलड़िया.
There's another perspective of this Shabd that Maharaj recited in Maghar. It is telling you and giving you a view of Sachkhand as well. That Maghar meene de vich Maharaj dasde a कि Sachkhand de vich sare jeev Brahm Gyani, all the Brahm Gyani, the people jehde tar gaye, the people that have crossed this Bhav Sagar, the people that have reached Sachkhand, how are they sitting? They're sitting looking beautiful in the company of the Nirankar Jyot of Paramatma in Sachkhand. On pere sang baithadiyan. And tinki sobha kya gani. If Maharaj gave you a glimpse right now that you could go beyond this world of material and go beyond this Mayavi Rachana, the creation of Maya, and see those beings in Sachkhand and in their glory and on their beauty, you would say, Unki sobha kya gani? That how can you even measure and even try to approximate how beautiful they look in words? You cannot. They're beyond the measure of words. Their beauty is beyond any description that we can give in this world. Because these people have earned their place in Sachkhand. This place that we sit now in Sangat is to train us that we can settle and be still there. The world is a training ground for people to learn how to live in Sachkhand. If they don't learn to live as Sachkhand beings here, they will not earn a place in Sachkhand. So, these beings that look glorious, that look beautiful in Sachkhand, the Brahmgyani, all of the ones that you remember, such as Baba Deep Singh, Baba Thakur Singh, Bhai Taru Singh, they look all beautiful. And ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੋਭਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਿਆ ਸਕਦੇ because they have united Meladiya means been united with Sahib, our master, the one we strive to be united with.
ਤਨ ਮਨ ਮੌਲਿਆ ਰਾਮ ਸਿਓ ਸੰਗ ਸਾਧ ਸਹੇਲੜੀਆ.
And in here it says tan man molya. Molya means flourished inside, tan man. Ek hoya a scientist, Vasu Bhardwaj. This one scientist, who is an atheist, mind you, in the beginning, and his family was tied to jere Sindhi loka, and Sindhi lok jere hai they believe in Guru Nanak Dev Ji. That at a point where cancer had blocked off his hearing in one ear, and he had a huge tumor on his brain. This person was said to not to live more than a couple of months. He had no other chara, he had no other place that he could turn to. That his daughter said that, Tusi ek bari papa sonu le jiye Harmandir Sahib de vich utthe paath suno and Maharaj ji toda देखभाल करनगे वो तंदुरुस्त कर देंगे इसे बच्चिया मैं सारी जिंदगी होगी that my whole life has passed me by. I have not prayed to Paramatma, nor have I believed to. Why would he care for me? Nevertheless, where he could even sit up, they took his body and placed it before Guru Granth Sahib Ji in one of the halls that they have on the side where Akhand Path hunde hai. Akhand Path arambh hoya, kehinde Sukhmani Sahib tak pਹੁੰਚੇ Guru Granth Sahib Ji de Akhand Path de vich. What happened is he felt vibrations going through his body and he felt like sitting up. His family tried to gesture to him that no, you remain lying down, you're in discomfort, but he was adamant that he wanted to sit up, so he sat up. His daughter even got up to take a picture of her mother and father sitting together listening to Path, and at that time they saw something. Through Guru Granth Sahib Ji, a light came, and the light came up and it came closer to him according to his description. His daughter that took the picture actually captured it in film as well too. And then the light came close to that scientist who was an atheist. But now that atheism is being washed off. Kyunki ਇਹ ਵੀ ਮਲੀਨਤਾ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਜਨਮ ਦੀ. And then what happened is it broke up into two lights. And as his hands were folded, it went through each of his hands. And then right away, he felt a surge go through his body and his hearing it came back. And then his head, because of the tumor, he was suffering from migraines. The migraines all went away. And he now had strength to get up. देखो किस तरह महाराज जी ने किस्मा एक वर्ती. There's thousands of stories such as this that happen at Sri Harmandir Sahib. But raho vichar. The pankti was Tan man maulya ram syo. Tan, his body, man, his mind, maulya, flourished with what? Marji's Shakti, Ram Syo, with Paramatma's Shakti that came into him. Sang saad se ladiya. So meaning that appavi, when you sit amongst jire saad birti wale, the people that are trying to correct those categories that I told you, Praman, Viparje, Vikalpa, Nindra, te Simriti. Those are the things that distract us in life. Those people that try to fight these are sads. And those people that sit in the company of Paramatma, that ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਹੋਗਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਦੇ ਆ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਪ੍ਰਫੁੱਲਤ ਕਰੂਗਾ ਭਗਤੀ. that ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ will inside of them flourish bhakti. Their bhakti will grow because of them sitting amongst other like-minded individuals that want to correct their mind, that want to do bhakti. Sad janate bahari. But dekho, jire hun sachkhandi jeeva. Pame tusi ek example le lo, that oh jeev jire Brahm Gyani baithe a. Oh ta sangat de roop de vich baithe a, ikattar hoye around Guru Maharaj Ji's Nirankar Jot. But jire nahi hege sachkhand de vich, oh jeev ki kar rahe a? That those people sad janate bahari, that those people that bahar, that are outside of that sangat rupi sachkhand, se rahan eke ladiya, oh jeev kalle jande a, narka nu jande a, those jeev nange jande a. They go without anything covering their sukham sris. And they get pushed by Jamdoots into Dharmaraj's Kachari, where each of them eke ladiyan. They will have to go one by one. And then Dharmaraj will state to them that je tusi surgan de vich jaonge, je narkan de vich jaonge, bahota tare narkan nu jande. Karan ki hai ki Jamdoot jis vele leke jande unna nu, they take out all of their guns. They rob them of all of their guns. Tin jam jagati lute. That ostara, just like a person who is a tax collector, they rob them of all of their good virtues and take them to Dharmaraj's Kachari, jithe unna kol kuch nahi rehanda. They fir narkan de vich unna nu jana penda hai jeevan nu. Ek nu matlab ke they don't go all together as a group. They get punished individually in narkan de vich jaake eke ladiyan. Kel also means anand. Without anand, eke ladiyan. Meaning that they have dukh with them, going lonely. They even here, jire nahi saad sangat karde, they suffer from loneliness. Even all these celebrities, vade jo dise log, तिनको व्यापे चिंता रोग. That all of these people that are turning to drugs because they feel lonely, they feel depressed, they feel anxious. ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਵਾਪਰਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਿੱਘ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਦਾ.
ਤਿਨ ਦੁਖ ਨ ਕਬਹੂ ਉਤਰੈ.
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਆ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜੀਵ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਕਦੇ ਉਤਰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ.
ਸੇ ਜਮ ਕੈ ਵਸ ਪੜਿਆ.
Because they've been captured by Jamdoots, Jam, and they've also Jamna te Marna. They're stuck in the 84 lakh of going back and forth, of being born and dying. And Jam also means Jamdoot, because Jamdoot have now pakadiya, have captured them and taken them under their bus, taken them under their control, and they're robbing them of their virtues, so they appear in Dharmaraja's court.
Jinni ravya prabh apna.
But on the other side, those people, Jinni, Ravya, they have enjoyed Paramatma's bhakti. They have enjoyed the pleasure of Paramatma's naam. Ravya also means Ucharya. Those people that have recited God's name,
Se disan nit khadiya.
they're seen beside Paramatma. They're seen doing seva for Paramatma. They are seen standing next to Paramatma. Jis tarah ਇੱਕ ਸਾਖੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਭਾਈ ਵੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਚਮਤਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਦੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ. And there is a princess that is given a new insight by Bhai Triloka. Bhai Triloka is the son of Bhai Pagirat. Bhai Pagirat is a Sikh of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And she, as her bhakti grows, she calls to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And as Marji comes and visits her, she comes to Guru Nanak Dev Ji in disbelief that Guru Maharaj is right before her, and she falls in a dandot in front of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And she says, as she stands up, she sees her body still lying there. And there is a silver cord attaching her to her body. Jinu Surat keh dende hain. Surat means attention. And as she stands, who did she see standing next to her? All these beings standing next to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. All of them with their hands folded. Even when you're in the company of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, aay na kade sochyo tusi kalle hi baithe hain. Even now, there are ruah, there are beings that are invisible to our eyes, that sit also in Sangat, that stand also in Sangat in Ardas, that you will see them on a daily basis, that nit khadiyan, that they will be standing nit in front of Paramatma. ਉਹ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਆ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਅਵਸਥਾ ਬਣ ਜਾਵੇ ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਕੌਤਕ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਇਹ ਰੂਹਾਂ ਖੜੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਜੋਦੜੀਆਂ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ. ਐਂਡ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਬੀਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰਤੱਖ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, seeing that how these beings are all standing around Guru Nanak Dev Ji.
Ratan jave har lal har.
And these kind of beings, those beings that have done bhakti, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਭਦਾ? Ratna Ratan Padarth, both Sagar Parayaram. They'll find their Paramatma has so many jewels. And Ratan means Ratna, that those people that don't have any love for the world anymore. Matlab unna kole vairaga. They'll find shabds of vairag in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Javehar, you can translate as jewelry, but it can also translate as Jave, going, and har, those people that learn when to go and when not to go, meaning Vivek Buddhi onna kole aa jandi hai. There's shabds in Guru Granth Sahib Ji that will give you Vivek Buddhi. Then agge lal, aise lal tuj bin kaun kare. Who else other than you, Paramatma, gives that love, that divine love for the Creator that will come into you by singing those very shabds in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Har of Paramatma, kant, meaning in their kant, jithon awaaj uthdi hai, where their voice comes from, tinna jadiyan ha. They will always, jadiyan means embedded. These shabds are embedded in their kant, jithon awaaj aandi hai, meaning that they're always in like a mala, reciting God's name, reciting God's shabds.
ਨਾਨਕ ਬਾਂਛੈ ਧੂੜ ਤਿੰਨ
Guru Arjan Dev Ji, using the Nanak Pad, the title of Nanak says, Banche, that I seek the tood, the dust of these beings that are reciting God's name continuously.
ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸਰਣੀ ਦਰ ਪੜਿਆ
Those people that have fallen, that have surrendered in Guru Maharaj's sanctuary, that have given their mind, they have given their body, they have given their wealth to Guru Maharaj Ji.
ਮੰਗਰ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਰਾਧਨਾ ਬਹੁੜ ਨ ਜਨ ਮੜੀਆ
And in the month of Maghar, Guru Maharaj Ji says, Prabh Aradhana is sabto sresht karma. That's what we should do. We should recite God's name, and then Maharaj Ji promises us that those that find God's name and recite it continuously, bahud, then after na janamadiyaha, they will not have to come back in another life and face the 84 lakh of coming back and forth again. And eh pankti apa gali hai, so it stays inside of us. Mangar prabhe aradhana, mangar prabhe
ਆਰਾਧਨਾ
mangar prabhe aradhana.
ਮੰਗਰ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਰਾਧਨਾ
Bod na janamadiya,
ਬਹੁੜ ਨ ਜਨ ਮੜੀਆ
mangar prabhe aradhana.
ਮੰਗਰ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਰਾਧਨਾ
Bod na janamadiya,
ਬਹੁੜ ਨ ਜਨ ਮੜੀਆ
So, Pulchak Khima, if I made any mistakes while talking, please forgive me. Anything that you learned today, please embed it inside of your mind. And do ardas that Sache Pasha Kripa Karo Sarbat Sangat de Upar, Jinane Barama de Jere Shabd de Katha Sarvan Kiti hai, O Amal Vidya de Taur te Grahan Karan. Matlab Amal means putting it into practice. Translating Gurbani is one thing, but translating into your life is another thing. That's what we need to live by. We have to translate it into our life in order to get out of this life. Forgive me if I made any mistakes. ਇਹ ਪੰਕਤੀਆਂ ਉਚਾਰਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ
ਨਾਨਕ ਬਾਂਛੈ ਧੂੜ
ਤਿੰਨ
ਤਿੰਨ
ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸਰਨੀ ਦਰ ਪੜਿਆ ਮੰਗਰ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਰਾਧਨਾ ਬਹੁੜ ਨ ਜਨ ਮੜਿਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ